Am I live? Checking. Uh, Seems to be the case that I am live. Cool. Oh, there's like a 10-second delay from what I say and how it shows up, but it doesn't really matter. So I wanted to hop on stream today and work a little bit on my Monorepo, and I'll explain why I have that in a second here too. Just making sure that everything is doing. Yeah, okay, cool. So I want to talk about monorepos today, monorepos, and why people might be interested in having one. So I have on GitHub a bunch of repositories that point to different projects that I've made over the years. And I've noticed that especially there's a lot of projects that I use on a daily basis that I wanted to be able to reference back to in one particular spot. So let me see if I can actually just snag a picture of it real quick and just show what that looks like. Uh, So on your GitHub profile, there's like a whole bunch of, you can do these things called like pinned repositories. So take a picture of that and put it in here. Let's do new folder and we'll call it stream for 05 16 23. And then we're going to do assets.md. We're going to grab that picture from my screenshots. And we're just going to yoink it in here. So what you're seeing here is this, this list of screenshots that are this repositories that I have in my GitHub. But the thing is that you can only do 6 at a time, which I find to be kind of limiting. So I wanted to be able to extend this to have all of the kind of current things that I use on a daily basis and kind of like link them all in the same place. So in GitHub, you can do this thing called sub repos, I don't know what it's exactly called, subdirectories. And each of these subdirectories is in and of itself a GitHub repo. So let me grab this screenshot and also show this. So you can see here that all of these GitHub links right here with all these folders with the little arrows next to them actually link out to other GitHub repos. So if I click on like Brampy's highly opinionated vault, it'll actually open up the GitHub repo to this. There's some advantages of doing this versus just having a long laundry list of things that you've built and just calling it an awesome repo, is that like this actually lives within the repo in and of itself. You can get the readmes, which I'll show you in a second. I wrote this pretty interesting script for that. And then it's just, I think it's just easier to manage because like you actually get to see what the projects look like. There are some downsides. One of them being that you have all of these. So if you have like a bunch of different repos that are all in here, all of these will show up on your GitHub SVN repository, at least for Visual Studio Code, all at the same time. And VSC will sometimes pop up a warning being like, there's too many repositories here. I don't know what you expect me to do with all of these. So that is a problem that I don't know how to necessarily address. Because like currently in the, I don't know if I'll be able to get to the Git modules. Yeah. So you could see these Git sub modules here, and these are all the sub modules, and it's like you can remove them. I think I found someone's like like there's like a GitHub or a Stack Overflow answer where someone was like, okay, this is how you get rid of these submodules if you want to take them away. But it's not a trivial thing, right? Like it is one of those things that you have to like run a few commands to remove them. It's not just as simple as deleting the file from the directory itself. So I think that that's something that I'm also considering down the road is like, how do I really want this mono repo to look? But again, the reason that I'm doing this and the reason that I want this mono repo is because I wanted a way for people to know all of the things that I run on my local computer, because I was at a meetup relatively recently. And at this meetup, I was kind of talking to other developers, and we were talking about like published projects versus kind of like the private projects that we run on our machines, and the kind of like gray area between that space where it's like you'll have certain projects that you'll just need to take all the way to the business level for them to be useful for people. Like stenography is an example of that, where I needed to like code think of everything. I needed to think of like the API key management. I needed to think of like how the actual thing functions in terms of user experience. I needed to think about the delivery of it as like a sales vehicle, as an asset. I needed to think about the prompts engineering that I was doing. There was just so many things to think about. And I think that with this mono repo, it's kind of like for the projects on the other side. It's for this like kind of smaller standalone scripts that might do one or two things that you need, but you don't necessarily want them to uh, float around as like an island, right? Because a lot of these kind of do play a part in the bigger narrative of your development experience, I suppose, as it were. So like if I were to like draw a picture about this, I would say like, let's say y monorepo dot excalidraw. This is really cool, by the way. I found out that you can put excalidraw in, there's like a uh GPT, I don't even know what you call these plugins, extensions. There's an extension in Visual Studio Code where you can just do this, which is awesome. But like if I said, this is the monorepo image here. Did it copy it in? No, it didn't. Okay, let's copy the image instead, and then we'll paste it here. Yeah, there we go. And then let's do the same with this image here. So I would think of like each of these kind of like individual projects as kind of being their own thing, right? Like these kind of all float on their own island, and none of them really kind of individually do all that much. But when you start kind of like joining them together, you get like this kind of like exponential kind of return of how each project affects another project, right? And maybe that's not exactly accurate, but the point being is that like any individual project actually I don't think is worth that much on a device. But when you start compounding them, you're like, oh, I can use the results from ChatGPT MD and then pass them through 11 labs to like have it speak audio, or like I am taking something from I Ain't Reading All That, which is like a app that I wrote that like allows you to use your voice and then summarizes it into a text, and then pass that into Obsidian with the purposes of publishing it with Obsidian Ghost Publish. Same with all of these, right? Like this summarize is really good for Obsidian Ghost Publish. Switchboard is really good for ChatGPT plugins. YouTube assets from video is really good for Obsidian Ghost Publish as well, right? So they all kind of like interact with each other, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do with Monorepo is like build a shared space for all of these things to kind of like play around in, and we'll see how that goes. So the next thing that I wanted to do was that I'm writing this script right here called summarize readmes.py, and I'll go over what this is doing on the high level. So basically, as you saw in this picture here, there's a bunch of different um, GitHub sub-repositories here, subdirectories, right? So if I wanted to like have a README for all of them, all of these have their own README. So as you can see here, this Obsidian Ghost Publish has its own README, which is like, oh, this is the API URL or something like that. ChatGPT MD has its own README. So I was like, okay, I have all of these READMEs, but I need to centralize them in the top level README. So what I found from just Googling around is that you can use this details tag to create a click to expand for all of these, because as you can see, this file's already all of the readmes combined, so it's already 1,700 lines. But when you actually view it in Markdown, you can see that it's relatively tame, right? Like you have your click to expand here, and you click it, and then it'll actually open the readme that's in here. But then you can close it, and you can just go down to this summarize with GPT Obsidian, right? For example. So I want to like take this README to the next level. I think that's going to be really the purpose of this stream, is to kind of get the README going and then figure out what I'm going to do about the archive problem as well. Because as you can see here, there's like certain projects that I don't really use on a daily basis anymore. So I wanted to like leave them in the archive, because I didn't want them to say that they were like gone, because they're not gone. They're just archived. So that's kind of where we're at. So let me explain what this file is doing, and then we can go from there. So the first thing that we're doing is we're loading the .env, which has our GitHub username, which in my case is Bramsies, which you can see here. Actually, no, you have to click the next. The root directory, which is going to be the Monorepo directory, not this, because this is running in the scripts directory for README Summarizer. And then the skip directories, which isn't working, but I'm trying to figure out why it's not working. And I want basically just to skip the archive. And we have a few methods here. So we have find readme files, which is walking through the root directory, finding all the files that have the name readme.md. And this part doesn't work yet for the skipters. And then we're appending that to readme files. From the readme files, initially I was going to do this with ChatGPT. I was going to summarize the README files, but then I figured like I could just do that, the thing that we just showed off, right, with the actual just kind of like a detail summary thing, and that just was effectively the same thing. So I was like, okay, I'll just do that instead. But basically what this does is that this generates a summary for us, which is going to be this summary HTML thing. Then we get the relative path and the GitHub link, and then we basically add all of these things to the README, which is going to be the title, the path, and the monorepo that it exists at, the summary, and the GitHub link. Then we're going to generate the summary down here. Like I said, pretty simple, straightforward with the details and the click to expand. And then finally, generating the GitHub link with the username and the directory name. And then writing it to a file, this readme summary.md file, which is the same as the readme that I copied above. So the next step that I think that I want to do, like I said, is get this skipters thing working. And then if I can get the skipters working, then my next step will probably be to figure out what to do about the archive, and then go from there. Let's see if there's like a next step that's like pretty obvious or apparent. So my initial thought is that this skipters is just archive. And I don't think I want, if like dir path not in the skip directories, that's going to be the full path. And I don't think I wanted it to do like relative path, but now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I don't want it to do relative path, because if it does relative path, then yeah, I guess like if I do relative path, then there are some files that'll just have like the word archive in it or something like that, and that would actually be really cumbersome. So I'm going to change the environment variable real quick. So I'm going to switch to big camera. No, it is actually the full path. I don't know. Let's see then why that might be the case then, because I don't know why that would bug out. So let's say this is, we know that this is a pending, so let's just log this. So let's print this dir path not in skip test, and then let's print dir path so we can see what our paths look like. So let's jump into cd. Oh, we're already in readme summarizer. Okay, so let's just run python summarize readmes. So we see a bunch of trues here. True, 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 true. Okay, so is there any false here? Or does it all evaluate to true? That's kind of annoying. Okay, so it is going through all the subdirectories. I think what we have to say is does not include. So, so dir path is these repos. Let's say dir path does not include anything in the skip directories. So dir path, let's just say, I think that's not in, but we already just did this not in. So dir path should not contain any of the path in skipters. So contains is equal to is that right? Any skipter and dir path for skipter in skipters. I don't know if that's right because this is basically saying, I mean, my Python in logic has always been really confusing. I've always get this confused. But for skipter in the skipters, which is going to be the archive, then we're saying this is set to the value for is skipter in dir path. So is yeah, let's just, yeah, I think that's right actually. So let's print contains is no, let's just if contains equals, oh, this is any. Okay, let's try this. Okay, so that didn't work. Okay, so let's write out what we want to see and then regroup. So I want this, and let's say that like for okay, so let's say skipter path is let's just grab this any children of this path should be skipped as well as the path itself. Okay, so let's rewrite this contains line to kind of take this in mind. This is an example of how I use Copilot. I use it as like a co-thinker for syntax a lot of the time. So like this is me saying, okay, this is what I want over here, but then I'm going to use Copilot to help me figure out how to actually do what I want, if that makes sense. So where do we go? Okay, so let's call it contains again. Another Copilot trick is just to start with a variable. Streaming and programming is also changes my, because I have to think about the stream as well as the programming aspect. So I'm not really good at both at the same time. Okay, so contain false. So if skipter is in skipters, so what is skipter though here? For skipter and skipter is in dir path contains equals true. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now we can say if this is this and not contains, because this is false here. So let's see what that looks like. Python summarize readme.py, and then we go back into our readme summary and it's empty. Okay, so that didn't work. Okay, so this is saying contains is equal to true. This resets it to false for every file and file name. So if the skip directory, so what is Okay, so let's print these two and see where we're at. This is gonna cause a lot of prints. Uh, okay. Okay, so now it's just skipping everything. Why would it be doing that? Because skip dir, okay, is archive here, right? Oh, what the hell? Oh, this is for what? Oh, maybe skipters is a string. Oh, that'd be interesting. Okay, so that would make sense to me. If that is coming in from my environment variable as a string, that would clear up a lot of my confusion. Is there any way to print the type of in Python? Uh, print type of skipters. Okay. Uh, yeah, it is a string. Okay, so let's do um yeah, okay. Let's say this and then we'll do yeah, skipters dot and this will actually turn it into an array. So now hopefully that just works. Because again, I have a lot of sub repos here. I'm eventually going to want to like skip the git calls and stuff like that too. Oh, okay, here we go. It will have worked if we go here and we see. Okay, that's good. Oh, no, it's still here. Fuck. Actually, we didn't skip anything. Why didn't we do that? Let's see, print skipter. Okay, so I think that the problem is yeah, I think the problem is that like skipter here is not what splitting on the array, but I do need to check my environment variable. No, that yeah. Okay, let me try that. So I'm gonna go back here and then do that real quick. I feel like no, let me just do like JSON loads or something like that. Okay, so now that's right. That's the one that we wanted to skip was the archive. Okay, cool. And then we're skipping these successfully. That's great. Okay, great. We don't need this anymore. So let's, yep. So now we're skipping a bunch of these paths here. And then if we go and look at the README summary, it doesn't have moon anymore, which is great. We don't want it to do that. Unless we do. I mean, now that I'm thinking about it, it's like actually not bad to have um the thing show up there, the archive. But I'm wondering if like hmm I don't know. I'm torn about this because like what I'm thinking in my head right now is that like I wanted this archive here. Let's go red. I wanted this archive to be like separate, but I guess I could just draw a separate line in the README to just specify that it's a separate thing. Maybe it's not even that big of a deal. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I mean, for what it's worth, we do have this contains code now, so we can just say we can remove the split path, but I need to go back to me and then get rid of archive, and it'll just work. And then I can always come back to it if I change my mind. So let's say that we just have this here. Yeah, so fuck it. Let's just leave it in there for now, all the archive files. I think it's fine because I think so. And that's good enough. Oh, where are they? They should still be here. Maybe I messed something up. Okay, we're not skipping anything, so. What is this? Markdown X. Is archive in here? No, it's not. It just went away. But I got rid of the durs, I think. Print. Skip durs. It should be an empty array. Yeah. And then it says for skip durs and skip durs. So this is just skip, which is we're skipping the skipping the skipping. And then contains should just stay false, I guess. But if I get rid of this and save it, maybe I can just rerun it again and it'll work. Monorepo, BHOV, oh, here it is. Okay, it's back. And does this have archive in the link? No, it does. Okay, so let's remove. Let's just have it so that it only has the GitHub dir name. Okay, so we only want take. I think it's the base name or whatever it's called. Take the final part after the last slash. Yeah. The last slash of the dir name. Okay, that should work. Okay, the link, Bramsey's Moon, perfect. And if I click it, does it? Okay, I got a 404. Awesome. Bramsey's Moons. Oh, because this is actually. Fuck. Okay. Okay, so we actually don't want to do that. We want to say. Let's remove archive from the dir name. Remove _ archive from the dir name. Will that work? I think you have to redo this preview button. I don't know if it hot reloads. Okay, it did keep this part. So let's try this one more time. Yeah, I gotta reopen it. Okay, now it just kept it though. Hellish. What would this mean? Okay, so let's say if archive is in dir name, I want to print the name real quick. Print. Okay, no, yeah. So this is just okay, I got it. Okay, so we're gonna do this slash. It's an end slash, not a start slash. So that's good. And then we're gonna rerun this. And then we're gonna rehost this. And then I'm gonna click this link and it's totally not gonna 404. Fuck. Why did it 404? Moon, source, moons. Okay. Moon. Okay. Source. Moons. What link is this? Moon. Oh, moon tree main source moons. Oh, god damn it. Okay, how do I do this? This is the link to moons. Let me just look at it here. Okay, so this is for like the subtrees. So if gh link is, or rather, if dir name has multiple then it is a subdirectory and we need to add tree like the below. Okay. Yeah. Wait, what? No, we don't. I think we want this. Um. Okay, so now let's just print dir name, see where we're at in life. Okay, so we have moon. This one is now moon tree main source tree main moons, which I can already tell is not correct. YouTube video asset. What? Oh, because now we're just replacing any slash with that. No. We need to we can get rid of this. So this is coming in as archive moon source moons. And we need it to be, what was it? Moon source tree, moon source moons. I mean, it's right here, right? Yeah. We need, but what was it when it was coming in as the dir name? It was what exactly? Let's just print the dir name above here before we manipulate it. And then we're gonna just see. Okay, so it's moon source moons, and we basically need it to become this. Okay, so let's just take this and then just tell it to do that because GPT is great at this thing. Turns into moon tree main source moon. Moon tree main source moon. Okay, let's try that. No, we don't want that. Well, because this one also has. Okay, we're gonna deal with that in a second. I need to think about this. Okay, so yeah, even if it has any slashes, that means that it is in a tree main or tree master. I don't want to replace the whole thing though. So let's just change this to greater than or equal to 1. And then let's say uh, moon source moons turns into, okay, add tree. We just need to add tree main here. Okay, add tree main before the first sound. So add tree slash main before the first thing. Okay, let's see that. Let's comment this dude. Figure this out. Close this. We don't really need this right now. Okay, YouTube assets from video tree main uploads moon tree main source moons. That looks right. Okay, so let's see if that works. Let's go to summer readme summary, and then do that again, and then scroll all the way up. Click this link. Fuck 404. Why? Moon tree main source main moons. What? Moon. What is it? This is GitHub moon tree main source tree main moons. Okay. So it's replacing 2 of them. I don't really know. Okay, let's say only the first. This seems like it worked, right? Moon tree main source moons. Yeah. So what the fuck? Moon tree main. So it's like adding another one here, but I don't know why, because it printed out correctly. Moon tree main source moons. And then in the GitHub link, it should just work, but it's not for some reason. Okay, so this one just only the first. So let's just say only the first, maybe, and then see if we can get it to work. This is broken. So let's say this one more time. Okay, yeah, just did the same thing. So, what the fuck? Let's just print the whole link here. See what happens. Oh, right. F. Okay. Moon, tree main source moons. Okay, that's right. Right? Yeah. Yeah. Maybe just this is roasted. How about this one? Does this work? Oh, yes. Okay, cool. I'm goaded. Okay. Uh, I think it just, let's just say this, get rid of this. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What's next? What's next? What's next? What's next? So README is looking better. Okay, now I need to think about scripts for how I'm going to handle the archive. Um, but first, a brief message from our sponsor, Alfred. I'm just kidding. I want to add Alfred workflows here too, and I think I have an Alfred repo, but I have to actually see if I do, because I could just be totally capping right now. Alfred process note, Alfred OBS switcher, and Alfred. Okay, so I don't have an Alfred workflows. Yeah, so I'm just going to make a new repository. I'm going to call it Alfred workflows. And then it's going to be public. And it's like a collection of Alfred workflows. README. Yeah, create. Okay, so let's copy this. Okay, how do I add a subdirectory? I already forgot how to do that. How do I add a subdirectory to Git? Git add subdirectory, make dir touch some file, yada yada yada. Git add. Okay, git add. Git add all subdirectories. How do I what? How do I create a new subfolder in a Git? I don't even remember what link I use. Okay, I'm just gonna leave a note to myself to do this later because I think that this is actually takes away from the what I'm trying to do right now. So ATK for what project is this for? Monorepo. Add Alfred workflows to monorepo subdirectory. And then that, and then that. And then also add clean workflows for deployment. Yeah, that makes sense. This checks out. Okay, so where are we? Where are we in left right now? Okay, so we have this summarize readmes.md, and I can just copy this bad boy. Oh wow, it's way longer. 3,500 lines now. That's crazy. Okay, so we can just go to readme.md and just paste this POS in, and now when I look at it over here, I should have all of the. Yeah, this looks good. I like it. Picasso. I'm wondering if this has all of them inside of it. Okay, so this monorepo path and monorepo probably needs to go. So let's figure out how to do that. We don't want to skip all of the children of monorepo because everything is a child of monorepo, so that would be bad. So let's say that and not root dir, right? And dir path is not root dir, right? Because now we're just saying like we don't want it to just be the top level one. Hopefully that won't break it. Okay, now we're back to 1,700 lines again. Fantastic, but at least it is gone. Why was I at 3,500 before? This is so confusing. Yeah, that works though. It's still there. Bro, I don't even know. Again, the nice benefit about this is that like if I ever update any of these submodules, in theory, it should also update my monorepo, which is like a git update. Will that actually happen? I don't know. But we can hope. Uh okay, so why is this one a lot longer? Scroll. I think it must be going twice. Let's say what would be chat GPT MD. How many? Okay, there's 6 of these. Okay, so yeah, I think it's just doubled. Yeah, I think it's just doubled. That's what I'm gonna call it. It's doubled, so I don't have to think about it. What's next here? What are we doing here? Um, okay, so I think the README is in pretty good shape. I mean, it's in better shape, right? After adding this subtree thing allows us to link out to other GitHub repos. These archive submodules all seem to do something good. I wanted to add a few scripts. So I have this update submodules script here that I got from a GitHub gist, and I don't remember where, but this is good as is. I don't think that I need to do anything here. Maybe we could just add like a to-do list here, even though I already have a to-do in my Obsidian. So what do we have to do here? To make the monorepo cooler. What would make the monorepo cooler? Um, Other than just that readme giga chat readme. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to add um a header. Okay, so like intro string, intro uh section. Yeah. Monorepo readme summary. Oh wow. GitHub Copilot just does it sometimes, bro. I'm telling you. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think about a table of contents, but a table of contents is actually a pretty good idea. So let's like do that. So def generate table of contents. Oh, amazing. Okay. And then let's just add it here. Can I do that? Can I do that? Maybe I can't do that. I don't know if I could do it here. Let's do it. Okay, so let's do empty file.write \n. I love coding with Copilot in the modern era. It's so much easier. I can't tell you how many lines of code that I've written in my life where I would have just sat here for a while and I've had to like look it up in Stack Overflow or something like that. Like coding is just so much fucking easier these days. It's insane how much easier it is to code these days. Anyone who says that coding is harder than it was is completely capping. Um okay, let's see. Checking my phone. I'm on my phone like I was in middle school or high school. Okay. Let's see what this looks like. So we have our summarized readme or readme summarizing. It looks fucking sick. And then if we go to our readme summary.md, we have our first header. Okay, our table of contents is empty, but that's fine for now. Awesome. This is really great. uh Okay, so this isn't doing anything though. So let's print this TOC, see what it is, if it's anything at all. Because I am passing in this MD content, which is the generated MD content, right? What the heck? Um, if line dot starts with TOC dot append line, and then it's this whole thing, which it shouldn't be. Um, is it because it's in the summary or something? Because this looks like it's capturing all of it. Like this is pretty much everything. We don't want that. Uh, okay, let's wait. I'm very confused. Okay, so let's print. Let's just print the empty content real quick. See what this is. Okay, it's an array. What? Join. That don't make no sense. Wait. This is a. Oh no, this is an array. Why? MD content dot append, and then over here. Okay, no, I'm joining the empty content. So do I need to split it? So MD content is coming in as an array of different things that are like different subdirectories. And then they're all getting joined here by a double new line. And then basically I'm doing the same thing here, but I'm not joining this. These are still separate. But they okay, so how about this? So this one I got this, I got this. So for block in MD content, uh because this is gonna be for each uh let's actually let's split each line. I know this is confusing because it's like actually this is a block. So let's just change this right now to block because that's confusing. And then like line is going to be equal to block dot split. And then if line dot append, then we're going to append uh like a link to the line. Yeah. That looks cool. I don't know if it's right, but it looks cool. One extra parentheses here, and then we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna print TOC again, so I don't have to actually like do all the file manipulation. Okay, so we have yeah, that looks good. These look right. Okay, so let's check it out here in the preview mode. And if I click this, oh, it works. Oh my god. Huge. Huge. We have a table of contents now. It's actually pretty productive. We got a table of contents, we got a summary thing working, we got the file count showing up at the right spot. Shit. It's pretty exciting. Um what else do I need to think about here? Also, I'm on a new internet connection and I'm like looking at my OBS and I've only dropped 0.1% frames, which is just magnifique. Oh, so good. Um, okay, what else do I need to make Monorepo good? What do I do to get a good Monorepo thing going here? Hmm. I mean, I know that I want to like add more projects and stuff like that, but I feel like that's relatively self-explanatory for me to do off stream. So what is this missing? So again, the notion of the why we started this project in the first place was that these 5 pins aren't enough to show the relationship between all of my projects. I guess I could kind of like have like a section where I just explain how different things are used, maybe. Um, does that make any sense? Yeah. Maybe like relationships section. I can just like add it here. I don't know. Relationships graph. Interesting. Go on. This is a summary of the relationships. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Interesting. I'm wondering what Copilot's going to come up with here. Okay, so this is saying that this is the interesting. So this is saying that we have a graph string, and then we're getting the base name of the directory, and then we're generating the GitHub link, and then we're saying that this is like a graph link, which is that what I meant exactly. I kind of want to say like uh, given, let's just call this what data structure am I thinking of here? So here I was saying that like this this one relates to like this one relates to this one. So I guess like as a data structure, it's kind of like a tree maybe or a graph. That's obviously a graph. So if I have like this one represents that vault, then this will point to like this and that, and then this one might like point over like here, and then this one like fucking points here and points here too. Point points here too. I could use like a linked list for that. Uh, what's the term of this graph? Is it like an adjacency graph? A bi-directed, directed graph Python. I guess I would use a dict. Uh, add edges from out edges B. Okay. Okay, so let's I got this. Okay, so uh, da, 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 let's just pass for a second. Okay, so given a 2D array of readme files. No. Given a dict of relationships. Let's call it relations. Given a dict of relations generated graph. Um, that can be displayed in the README. Sure. Okay, so let's say that relations is equal to this guy. Yeah, that's kind of like the general idea that I'm thinking of here. Uh, but okay, so I just kind of want like this. Uh, and then get that. All right, let's just see how this looks. Let's get one more in here. And then, yeah, this, yeah, this is fine. Okay, so let's actually generate something. So we have oh, mermaid graph. Oh, you smart little duck. Okay. Yeah. Let's go. Okay, so now we're gonna say after the table of contents section, we're gonna write the relationship graph. And then we're gonna say yeah, and then yeah. Okay. We got the TOC thing still printing, which we don't really care for anymore. So I'm just gonna delete that. And then we're gonna go to readme summary.markdown, and we see table of contents, relationship graph, and then we do see this relationship graph. Let's see if it actually shows up. Hold. Oh no, it's not there. Where is it? Where would it be? Okay. Yeah, relationship graph just it's doing a thing again. Fucker. Dude, where is it? Oh wait. Dude, it's so confusing. Is it doubled again? I think it's doubled again. Why does this keep happening? It's like a pending. Okay, 18. And then we have the relationship graph. And then I scroll up. Okay. I don't know if that'll show up in README. Let me just copy it into GitHub's README and then just see. Let's just see what happens. I am going to add this stream thing so that it doesn't get committed to Git. And then I'm just going to push it and just see what happens. Slash. Okay. Okay. Git ignore. Sure. Mermaid test. Okay. Committal in GitHub. Why is this happening? Ugh. Come on, bro. All right, let's run. I hate Git. I hate it so much. What's going on? Resolving deltas 100%. Fatal. Remote rejected. Main to main. Why you gotta be like that? I don't. Blah. All right. We're gonna do what all heroes do. Ask ChatGPT. Okay. Git fetch origin. Okay, let's try the git fetch origin. Let's just run a git pull. Okay, yeah, so I said it says current branch is up to date, and then when I tried to push, it rejects it. Can't push refs to remote. Try running pull first to integrate your changes. But the current branch is up to date. What was this? What does this mean? Why is this the thing? I'm not exactly sure what makes this a thing. um, I think it has something to do with, again, with all these subdirectories layout that I have here, but I don't know why that would break it. Um, I'm on the main branch. I've only been on the main branch. And then if I refresh this, we have the mermaid test here. This is the one that we're trying to push. This is the origin, and it's not letting me push from my local to origin, even though I don't think that I did anything crazy. Okay, last time I pushed was 2 days ago, though. So let's just run git push here, I guess. See what happens? Okay, yeah, what the fuck? Failed to push some what does that mean, bro? Oh, GitHub status? Oh, look at this. It might just be this. Uh, check it out. May 16th, 2023. Pull requests. Degraded performance for Git operations. Could just be that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do what real gangsters do, and I'm just going to copy that line that I thought was interesting and manually paste it in not the GitHub repo of let's go to Alfred, the one I just made. Oh yeah, GitHub is like down. Edit Alfred OBS switcher preview. Oh yes, let's go, dude. I'm gonna take a picture of this and then I'll put it in here. And I'll probably end the stream for the day. I'm pretty bored already. Check out that beautiful relationship graph. It's a beaut. That's like all those arrows are like clickable and shit too. Like you can like actually move around in here, which is super cool. uh, so that's definitely what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna add to this relationship graph. I'm going to figure out what to do with the archive. So yeah, so add to relationship graph. and make it an end variable probably. Make it an env var. And then I want to add Alfred workflows to repo. And then I want to add Alfred section to Monorepo. I think it's a good place to stop for the day. So thank you for watching if you ever watch this in the future, and have a good day. Bye.